Mama Dede, this bite's for you. I hope this is exactly what you were looking for. Hey everybody, welcome back to our house. I'm the Penguin.
I'm the chef.
And it is late at night here. It's actually 2 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning. And we are getting ready to prepare our recipe number 3 for Mama Dede and Sarah Jane, and also our salute to the Philippines. So sometime later on in the day, today being Monday, I'm going to be making what is called adobo chicken. In the Philippines, it's called adobo chicken or chicken stew. It's very famous and popular in the Philippines, especially in Pinoy. It's famous for its delicious flavor and also its ease in fixing. It only takes about 30 minutes. The hardest part right now for me is cutting up the chicken, which is not hard at all. I'm going to cut the chicken into bite-sized pieces, or I may just decide to leave them whole, the legs whole and that. But I'm going to get the chicken cut up and we're going to marinate it. That's why I'm doing it right now, because the longer you marinate it, the more flavor it has. So I figure if I can marinate it for a good 12 hours or so, then it should have some awesome flavor. So I went ahead and put the rest of my ingredients out on the table, even though I'm not going to be using them all right at this minute. But I have a small chicken fryer here that we're going to be cutting up. You can buy the pieces already cut up if you want to use thighs. Thighs would work great. I like chicken breast more. I'm more of a white meat person than I am a dark meat person. So that's why we're going to do the whole chicken. And again, you're going to need some garlic. I've got the rest of my garlic here. You want at least about 5 cloves of garlic. Again, I prefer to use the fresh for this. If you don't have the fresh, you can use the minced up in the jar. You're going to want some whole peppercorns. You're going to want some bay leaf, some white vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar, but I prefer to use white vinegar. And also you're going to want a dark soy sauce. So I use my go-to. This is my mushroom soy sauce. You can order this online or you can find it in most Oriental markets. It's not as salty as your traditional soy sauce. It is also thicker and darker and has a lot more mellow, delicious flavor. So I highly recommend this. I'm going to go ahead and get to cutting up this chicken. It's going to take me a little bit. I'll leave you guys on camera while I'm doing it in case anybody wants to see how I cut up a chicken. And I'll just fast forward it. Anyway, I've got a gallon-sized Ziploc bag right here. I'm going to put my chicken pieces in as I cut them up into smaller pieces. So, I always fold my bag over like this, so it just sits up better for me when I do that. So I can just drop my pieces. I think you can see that. So I can just drop my pieces into there. I went ahead and got the breast off because I wanted to, without flinging chicken everywhere, I wanted to take the breast pieces off of the bone. The rest of it I'm leaving on the bone. So we did that. Now I've got my 2 breasts here. I'm just gonna cut them in half. Is pretty much all I'm gonna do with the breast pieces. Dump them in my bag. It doesn't exactly have to be bite-sized pieces. But the smaller the pieces, the more each piece is going to absorb the marinade. So, I'm going to dump this in. And this is just random pieces that I got off of there. So, I'm going to marinate those 2. And then I'm going to come over here to my chicken thigh and leg. And again, I'm just going to pop the joint. That sounds funny, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Pop the joint. I said pop the joint, not a joint. pop the joint. Not the joint. And separate my leg from the thigh. I've got a little extra fat here and I don't want that, so I'm cutting all that off. Cutting off the rib meat because I don't want that either. We can always boil that up for the kiddos.
Very small chicken.
Yeah, it's not that big of a chicken. So, I'm gonna pop the wingtips because I'm not saving the wingtips either. So, these are they're the littlest pieces, but for me, sometimes they're just stubborn to get off. So, I got my wingtip popped off.
We'll have to make a video and show them the...
Go ahead and do this one.
The pumpkins we found today.
Oh, yeah. You guys may see it before this video. I'm not sure, but on our adventures today, we found some huge pumpkins. Oh my Lord, were those pumpkins huge.
We were just driving down Route 1 on the way to Casey for the Casey Popcorn Festival. And this guy had pumpkins sitting outside that were 300, 400, 500 pounds.
Oh my God, they were huge. Something that you would see on TV for like the world's well, not quite exactly the world's largest pumpkins.
But pretty darn big.
But for just a regular farm like that they had.
And he had tons of them.
Yeah, these were some huge pumpkins.
At a very reasonable price.
Yeah. So needless to say, we had to get us some pumpkins because we already got the straw yesterday and we got the mums, so we just needed some pumpkins. Okay guys, I am gonna clean up my chicken mess. I don't like messing with yucky chicken, so I'm gonna get all this taken care of, get my area sterilized, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. I'm gonna grab something to shut you guys off with. Okay guys, I got all my mess cleaned up, everything sterilized, the table, myself, my cutting board, knives. So now I've got my garlic out. I went ahead and I grabbed 5 cloves of garlic, and I've got my little mortar and pestle here. So this is what I'm going to use to crush my garlic. You can do anything you want. If you want to crush it with a meat mallet, if you want to crush it with the back of a knife, however you choose to do it. If you want to put it in a food processor and grind it up, you can do that. I just want to keep all my garlic and not lose it all inside of a food processor. So also I wanted to give you guys a little tip. For this recipe you need some whole peppercorns. Now if you go to buy whole peppercorns in a jar just like they are, they can be a little bit expensive, like about $5, somewhere close to $5 at Walmart. And that's for not a very big container of peppercorns. But if you buy this one, your coarse pepper, just peppercorns in a grinder, this was less than $2. And this is the value size of McCormick's. Well, it fell off, but you can pop the top right off of these.
Yeah, I just used a knife and popped the top off.
And you have a whole big jar of black peppercorns. When you're done, you can pop the top back off or stick them in a Ziploc bag or another container.
And you can still use it as a grinder when you put it back on.
Yeah. So why not just pay $2 for this when you get a whole lot more? Or pay $4 or $5 for one because peppercorns are not in a grinder. It just doesn't make sense. So you'd think they would charge extra for the grinder, but not a lot of things in the world make sense anymore. But what makes sense is Happy Labor Day, y'all. Not sure exactly what time you guys are going to see this. Labor Day may be over when you do.
I'm eating my leftovers.
Leftover what?
Stuff from the popcorn festival.
Oh, yeah. We went to the popcorn festival this evening. And Chef got him a gyro. Gyro, however you pronounce it.
I call it a gyro.
We call it a gyro around these parts of the woods. But he got him a gyro. He got me a taco in a bag. The Saudi Bobby guy wasn't there because he was up in Quentin at the Little Italy Festival.
There's more than one Saudi Bobby guy, but there wasn't any.
Yeah, wasn't any there today. We were hoping there would be, but there wasn't, not today. So.
That's all right. I'll find him before the year's over.
Oh, he'll be at the Covered Bridge Festival, which is coming up in October.
More than one, probably.
I think the Covered Bridge Festival starts the second Friday in October, I believe.
He's usually at the Quarry Apple Festival too.
And you guys will just be amazed. There's yard sales for hundreds of miles during the Covered Bridge Festival time. So many yard sales that, I mean, this lasts for 10 days. And there's no way that you could catch even half of the yard sales in that 10 days. All right, so I've got my garlic in here now, and I'm just gonna take my little doohickeys and just gonna smash my garlic up. So for the sake of not shaking the table all around and stuff while I do this, I'm just gonna do it, and then when I'm done mashing it up, I'll bring you back. Okay guys, I'm back, and I've got my garlic all mashed up in here now.
And then what do you do?
What?
And then what
do you do? And then I'm gonna bring my chicken over to the cutting board.
And
I'm gonna take my measuring spoons, my tablespoon measuring spoon.
And then.
And I'm gonna put 8 tablespoons of soy sauce. And like I said, this is a thicker soy sauce, but it's so good.
And please wear masks, people.
Please wear masks.
I've been watching the news. Nobody with masks on. I went to the KZ Popcorn Festival today. Like I said, we got a little food. I was the only person with a mask on. I'm not joking.
Pretty much.
People way older than me out there, no masks on. People younger than me, no masks on. Kids, no masks on.
Alright, there's my 8 tablespoons of soy. And if you can see what I mean by thick. Can you see how that clings to my spoon? It's like a gravy. I don't know if you can see. It's like a gravy.
It is said on the news.
Love this stuff.
It is said on the news there are 150,000 new cases a day and 1,100 people plus are dying every day from COVID.
Oh, I believe it. It's crazy. Okay, now I've got soy sauce in here. I'm going to take my minced up garlic, juice and all, and we're going to put it in the bag. We want every bit of that garlic and every bit of that juice. That's why I like using this. So, get every bit of that out of there. And take your scraper and scrape the inside.
And then
every bit. Whoops. Just a little. Alright. Just gonna wipe that off. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zip this up real quick. And I'm just going to sit here and I'm just going to massage. I want to get all of that garlic down in there. All of that soy sauce massaged into every piece of that chicken. Feels funny. But just massage all of this. Now because it is a baggie, and I don't ever trust baggies, I'm going to be putting this inside of a container. I'm going to leave it in the baggie, but I'm going to put it inside a container. So, just in case it gets a hole in it or something, I don't have a mess that I have to clean up in the refrigerator when it's all said and done. And I'm going to let a little bit of the air out. Deflate my bag. And massage it some more. Like I said, you can do this and cook it, and I wouldn't marinate it for less than 3 hours. But it's like anything else. The longer you let it marinate, the better the flavor. So I would give it at least, if you have an opportunity to, make it the night before, cut it up, get it marinating, leave it in the refrigerator for at least 12 hours. So there we go. I think we've got it all mixed up nice now. Not the most appealing looking thing right now, but it sure is going to taste good. I'm going to get this in a container. I'm going to get it in the refrigerator. And this is part 1. So I will meet you guys back here a little later on today. And we will get to cooking this delicious Filipino adobo chicken. So we'll see you guys later. We're going to head to bed here shortly. Everybody have a great night and a very happy Labor Day.
Night, guys.
Night, guys. Hey, everybody. We're back for part 2. I'm the penguin.
I'm the chef.
Chef is knee-deep into something so great. We visited his mom, and his mom said she had something that she wanted to give us, which she's already gave us tons of recipes. She ends up giving us one of her cookbooks, and now this is pre-chef time, pre-penguin time cookbook. And she's marked a lot of stuff in there that she used to make all the time. And we are like so super stoked to be able to bring you guys some of those recipes in the future. Now we're talking like pre-1960s recipes and before. Super, super excited about that. So hopefully we can incorporate some of those into our Vlogtober and also going into November when we're getting towards Thanksgiving time. But anyway, for right now, you guys would have seen the clip that I put in before this where I cut up the chicken and I marinated it. This is our marinated chicken right here. This chicken has been marinating for about 19 hours. No. Yeah, about 19 hours. I can smell the aroma of the soy and the garlic. Smells so good. This is going to be some awesome chicken. So for our third recipe that we're making, this was requested by Mama Dede. She had asked if I could make this. This is our Filipino adobo chicken. Translates basically into chicken stew. It's one of the things it's one of the dishes that's more popular in the Philippines because it's easy to make. Your biggest part is marinating the chicken. Getting the chicken, if it's already cut up, that's saving you time. Marinating it, because that's where a lot of your flavor is going to come from. Now, to finish off this, once you get your chicken marinated, and in here, like I said yesterday, I've got 8 tablespoons of soy sauce, and I use the dark soy sauce. And I'll show you guys again, just because I want you to know. This is mushroom soy sauce. This stuff is absolutely awesome. It's thick, it's syrupy, if you can see that. It's not like your traditional soy sauces. See how it coats the bottle? And it's not as salty. It's got a mellow, wonderful flavor. So I highly recommend that. Again, you can buy it from Walmart.com, I believe. I think pretty much any Asian market is going to carry it. You can order it off of Amazon. That is one of the things that I highly recommend, especially if you like Asian foods, Filipino cuisine, anything like that. Also for this recipe, you're going to need some white vinegar. You can also use apple cider if you don't have white, but white is preferable. You can use like pure cane sugar or pure cane vinegar, but that is not something that we have around here. You're also going to need some bay leaves, which I've got McCormick's right here. You know, McCormick's is my go-to for just about every single spice, and the black peppercorns that we were talking about yesterday. So I just thought I'd show you. I'm going to be putting a video together here before long, but I don't have it ready yet, of these enormous pumpkins that we were talking about. And I just wanted to show you a couple of these super cute little gourds that Chef got. Like this one. Is this not super cute? But look at the bottom.
And he got them 5 for $1.
Can you see the bottom of that? It looks like somebody actually painted that on, but it's not. That's actually the way the gourd is. So, yeah, he had these 5 for $1. This is like, didn't you call this one the brain? Yeah. Or something? Something like that. But just super, super cute. Just all of these little gourds. And once one chef gets the outside. This is a really odd looking one. That is really super odd looking one.
Yeah, it looks like a watermelon on the bottom.
So once chef gets the outside display done, then I'll show it to you guys. That'll be a few days yet, because he has a lot of stuff going on. So anyway, back to this, and I thought I could cook it on the stove, but I do want to show you guys something. Hang on a minute. Okay guys, so I'm back. I wanted to show you, because I talked about it a couple of times, that cast iron pan that I got from Sam's Club. Is that not the most beautiful blue? It's like a pretty cobalt blue. I looked on Amazon and this pan was almost $100. Here's the lid. It's very, very heavy. Two-handled. See if I can pick it up. It's got a pour spout on it. I absolutely love this one. This is like 14 inches. And Sam's Club had a sale on it. It was like $40. Amazon wanted almost $100. So I was like super, super stoked to get that. I just wanted to show that to you guys because I had talked about it a couple of times. So let me get it put back up. Okay, I'm back now. Sorry, I just wanted to take a minute and show you guys that. Now we're going to get ready to do the first step in our chicken. Now, this adobo chicken is traditionally served over plain white unsalted rice. And the reason I say unsalted is because we have the chicken that's been marinating in the soy sauce. So it's really not going to need any salt to it. It's optional if you want to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt while we're cooking it. But I personally don't think that you would need it. Especially if you're using a more potent soy sauce. Now our soy sauce right here is not as salty. So I will taste it before I serve it to make sure that the broth is okay. But the most I would add would be about 1/4 teaspoon. Anyway, I could have cooked on the stove tonight, but I didn't. I decided, you know what? I've been having fun using the electric skillet, and no, I'm not going to use it forever. I'm going to be going back to cooking on the stove. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and cook on this. So today is Monday. Today is actually Labor Day. So we hope everybody has had a wonderful Labor Day. I've got my pan on what would be a medium heat right now. I'm going to let it heat up for just a couple of minutes before I put the oil in. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take each chicken piece out and we're going to fry it for about 2 or 3 minutes on each side. And then we're going to remove it to, I've got a platter right here. I'm going to take it out and I'm going to put it on the platter, and then we'll go on to doing our next step. So again, just letting this get a little hot and getting us some oil in here. Just about a couple of tablespoons of oil. I may need to add a little bit more, but I think 2 for now is enough. And again, this chicken, just, you can smell it through the bag. It just smells absolutely amazing. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can see down in there how that soy sauce has marinated that chicken. Oh my goodness. It smells so good. Anyway, this is one of the ones that Mama Dede specifically asked for, if I could do the adobo chicken. So we love Mama Dede and Sarah Jane, so we want to make sure that we do them proud here. Yes, we do. We want to do them proud. So I'm just letting my skillet get hot. I want to get it warmed up before we throw any pieces in. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting some of this chicken in here. Can you hear that sizzle? Yeah. Now, like I said, we want to let these cook about 3 to 5 minutes on each side. You don't want to overcrowd your pan. You want to make sure that they have ample room for cooking. So I'm going to get my breast pieces and my thigh, or my legs and my thighs in here first. I'm putting them in skin side down to begin with. Okay. Now, I still have more chicken in the bag, but I'm going to go ahead and let these cook for about 3 minutes on each side. I'm going to try not to disturb them much. And when my 3 minutes is up and I'm ready to turn them, I'll bring you guys back. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and turn my chicken pieces to the other side now. And I'm going to let them go on the other side the same, about 3 minutes. And I know the chicken's not going to be cooked all the way through, but that's okay, because it will finish cooking after a while when it's in its broth.
Smells good.
Yeah, it smells really, really good. So I'm going to let this side have 3 minutes. I'm going to take them out and I'm going to put the other pieces in. Did you see that wing just jump? Holy macaroni, he didn't want to be in that pan. Okay, guys, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, my other 3 minutes on this side is up. So I'm going to go ahead and take my pieces out now. After I get these out, I'm going to get the rest of my chicken in. And I'm going to let it cook for 3 minutes on each side as well. The only thing I have left are the breast pieces to do. Alright, doesn't that look nice and yummy? Okay, we're going to set that off to the side and get our breast pieces in now. Now that's all the chicken out of the bag. The only thing we have left in there is some marinade, and we want to keep that. So I'm going to go ahead and let this cook now for 3 minutes on each side. And then I'll flip it and let it cook the other 3 minutes, and we're ready to move on to the next step. Then I'll bring you guys back. Okay, we're back now. So I flipped it over and I let it cook for 3 minutes on the other side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of my chicken pieces and I'm going to put them back in the pan. Make room for everybody now that they've had a little brown and love in there. Put all those juices in there. Kind of move everybody around. Make sure everybody's got a little space. I hope you guys can hear me over the frying. Okay, let me set this over here and clean it up in just a minute. Now what I want to do is I want to take my bag that has my leftover marinade in it, and I want to dump all of this in, including the garlic. I just want to dump everything into the pan. For now, that's good. Gonna move this around a little bit. All right. Now to this, I'm going to add 1.5 cups water, which I've got my water already measured out here and put in my jar. Now your liquid is not going to cover your chicken. Not going to cover your chicken completely, but that's okay. It doesn't need to. So we got our 1.5 cups water in. Now it's kind of quieted down a little bit. It's peace and quiet now. No loud frying. Okay, we want about three pieces of bay leaf in here, 3 bay leaves. So there's 1, 2. I'm going to go ahead and add 4 because they're a little on the small side. So we've got our bay leaves in there. Now we're going to do our peppercorns. We want about a teaspoon of whole peppercorns. Gonna measure them out in my hand. Just kind of sprinkle those around everywhere. Okay. Set this back over here. Now we're not gonna add the rest of our ingredients in just yet. So we've got our water in here, we've got our bay leaves in here, and our peppercorns. I'm just gonna get these all submerged. I want my bay leaves down into the liquid. Just like so. Get that all down in there. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my lid on here and I'm gonna let it simmer for about 30 minutes. And this is on medium. Let it simmer for about 30 minutes and I'm gonna come back about halfway through and I'm gonna rotate my chicken around. After our 30 minutes is up, we'll be back to do the next step. In the meantime, I'm gonna clean up my mess. So I'll be back, guys. Okay, guys, I'm back and our 30 minutes is up. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my lid off now. And I did turn my chicken halfway through. Move my lid. It's smelling really, really good. I mean, really, really good. So I'm just gonna rotate my chicken. You just want to cook it until the chicken is tender. And I think it is starting to separate from the bone a little bit. Again, I'm just flipping some of these. The breast is falling apart. I'm just flipping these pieces. Got that nice dark rich color from the soy sauce. Okay. See how dark and rich that looks? Okay, now what we're gonna do is I've got my white vinegar here. And we're gonna take about 4 tablespoons of vinegar and pour into here. So I'm going to pour it all around. This is all a part of the flavor, guys. All right. Got our 4 tablespoons of vinegar. Now I'm not going to cover it. Sorry about my arm. Just going to swish it around. I'm not going to cover it this time though. I'm going to leave it uncovered. Sauce is getting thicker. We've got our garlic in there. We have some rice left over, so I didn't need to make any rice. Okay, smells so super good. We've got one more step to do after this, but right now I'm gonna let this go. I'm gonna let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Once my 10 minutes is up, then we'll come back and we'll finish this off. Guys, I'm back and we're ready for our last step. Our sauce has gotten nice and thick in here. Cooked down nicely. Our chicken looks amazing. Look how rich and dark that looks, if you can see that. Can you see that chicken with that gravy on there? Looks absolutely amazing. The garlic's cooked in. So delicious.
There's only one problem with it.
What?
It's a little chicken.
Oh. Chef said there's only one problem with it. It was a little chicken. In other words, he thinks there's not going to be enough here. There's plenty for us.
Plenty for me.
Okay. So our next step to tone this down just a little bit is we're going to take a teaspoon of sugar. And we're just going to sprinkle about a teaspoon of sugar all around through our sauce. Now, you can add, now's the time when you're going to taste your broth. If you feel like your broth needs a little bit of sauce, or excuse me, a little bit of salt, you can go ahead and add about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, but I wouldn't add any more than that. And pretty much after that, it's just get you a plate of rice and serve it up. You can garnish it with some green onions, and it's ready to eat and enjoy. So we're gonna get this plated up for you guys, and we'll be right back. Okay, and there you go, guys. That is our adobo chicken. Look how rich and brown that is over plain white rice. And we've just garnished it with a little bit of green onion.
It would probably went really good with the garlicky rice, though.
Yeah, it would go really, really good with the garlicky rice. That is for sure. And we do have a little bit left of that. So we will probably mix it together with our white rice. But for the thumbnail and that, we went ahead and did it on the plain white rice. And we'll be back in just a minute. I'll give you guys a little off-camera taste test. So we'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, I'm just going to do a little on-camera taste test. If you can see, I switched out the leg and the thigh for some breast meat because I'm a white meat person. I mean, I'll eat the breast and the leg once in a while, but I'm more of a white meat chicken eater. You guys can see that. Yum, yum, yum. Oops, I lost my rice. Get it to focus. Bite, guys. Here goes nothing. It's hot. There ain't nothing like adobo chicken. So good. The soy sauce that we use just gives that perfect mellow soy sauce flavor. You pick up just a tad bit of the vinegar. It just adds just a new contrast to the flavor. A touch of the sugar. The garlic comes through. Marinating that chicken does a lot of great for this chicken. Can you see how that marinade has gotten into there? Chicken is so tender. So delicious. Highly recommend, guys. Highly recommend. So this is video number 3 of 4 of our Filipino series. We've got one more to make, and that will be our dessert. So that'll be coming up in a couple of days. We want to say thank you to our new subscribers. Thank you to our loyal subscribers. We finally hit 1K, and whether we stay there or not, we don't know. We love you guys. If you like our content, please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Say good night, Chef.
No.
Chef's over making some more rice.
See you guys later.
Night, guys.